Hello friends, welcome to another tutorial on home automation. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn how to convert your regular light into a motion sensing light. Using this automation, you'll be able to turn on your light bulb or your tube light whenever there is movement in the room and turn it off automatically when the movement has stopped. This kind of automation is ideal for applications in storeroom or in the staircase or even in the kitchen. So let's get started and see how we can do this automation.
For this automation, you'll need a Sonoff Wi-Fi device. You'll need a PIR motion sensor. Now, in case these automations are going to be placed in rooms where there could be enough ambient light and you want the lights to be activated only if there is low light, you need a light sensor to sense that, to understand what is ambient light. In case of applications, say like in storerooms, etc., where you know that there will not be enough ambient light, you need not use this. So it's an optional one. To upload the code into Sonoff, we use a USB to TTL adapter. Here we use CP2102 adapter. Okay, so that's what you will need for this automation. So let's get started.
If you're doing the Sonoff upload for the very first time, I'll definitely recommend that you go through this detailed post on uploading the code into Sonoff as well as setting up the Arduino IDE. Once you have done all that, you can move to the next step to copy the code. So in the code section, you'll find the Arduino code for this automation. You can just copy that and paste it into your blank sketch for Arduino IDE. Now you need to just save this sketch. Once it's saved, you can click on verify to compile it. Remember that this sketch uses the library BH1750. In case you haven't installed that library, you can see this step where I have given the link to this library and also a detailed post on how to install an Arduino library into the Arduino IDE. Okay, so once the code has compiled, now you can look to upload the code.
To upload the code into your Sonoff, take the Sonoff Wi-Fi switch. Now, I have made another post and a video detailing the full processes that is involved in order to upload the code. You can find the link in my blog post. Remove the casing. Now, as I said, here we have the header pins attached if you're buying the Sonoff from our store. Otherwise, you need to solder these header pins into the Sonoff. Take your USB to TTL adapter and plug in the jumper wires into these header pins. Okay, once connected, you need to hold down the reset button and then plug the adapter into your system. Once plugged, you can release the reset button and now you'll be ready to upload the code.
To upload the code, just click on the upload button. Okay, once the code has been uploaded, now you can remove the Sonoff from the system and you can start connecting the wires.
Now that we have uploaded the code to the Sonoff, let's look at the sensors and connect them. So this is the PIR motion sensor that we use. You can see there are a couple of things that you need to keep in mind here. So there is the jumper cable here, jumper pin, sorry. So ensure that the pin is set on the outer two headers. Okay, so like this way. Now there are two knobs here, or two screws, that you can change the setting. So the one on the right here next to the near the jumper pin is the sensitivity knob, and the other one on the left here is the delay knob. Now I have marked these clearly in the blog post as well. So before we start, you just need to ensure that the delay knob is tightened all the way back anti-clockwise, and the sensitivity knob is tightened somewhere around here, right, this way. Again, you can always adjust this at a later point of time depending on your needs and requirements. So connecting the motion sensor to the Sonoff, so the one next to or near to the jumper pin, the output that's near the jumper pin, that's the ground. So here it's the green wire. The one on the middle is the signal or the output, and the one on the left here is the voltage. So we'll connect it to the Sonoff, and we'll connect the signal to the GPIO 14 pin, which is the last one here on the vertical side, and the voltage and the ground will connect to the pins on the horizontal side. So the ground, let's connect it to the ground on the Sonoff. Again, these wirings I have already given in the blog post, so you can always refer to that. Once you have connected the motion sensor to the Sonoff, so you can see the connections once again. So the ground goes to the one near the relay, then the pin next to it is the voltage, and the signal from the motion sensor goes to GPIO 14 pin. And in your automation, if you use the light sensor, you can connect it in the same way into these 4 pins. Okay, so now we have connected the light sensor into the Sonoff, and as well as the motion sensor that we had connected earlier. So now that we have connected both the sensors, let's put them back into the casing. Now these two sensors can go in out of the Sonoff casing on both sides, similar to what we had done earlier. So you can just take it out near to the wire connectors, put back these casings. With the sensors now attached to the Sonoff, now it's time to connect the wires. Now the Sonoff input and output terminal wire connectors are pretty simple. It's just you need to tighten the screws once you put the wires in. Just ensure that it doesn't come in contact with each other. So once you have put in those wires, you can tighten those screws and put the flaps back in, and then attach it to your tube light for automation. Okay, so here is the tube light that I want to automate in my house. Let's take a closer look. Okay, taking a closer look, I can see that the power is connected to the tube light here in this terminal. Now to find out what's the live wire, you can just follow the roots here. I can see that this is yellow and the other one is black. So I can say that this is the live wire, the other one is the neutral. So what I'll do is I'll just remove the wires from this terminal, connect it to the Sonoff, and take an output from the Sonoff and connect it to this wire terminal. So that should enable my automation. Okay, now I connected the Sonoff to the tube light. The main power supply comes to the Sonoff input, and the output from the Sonoff through this wire is connected to the tube light. We have also connected the light sensor and the motion sensor. Alright, so now let's put the tube light on and see if it works. Okay, so I've connected the tube light. Now you can see that even if I move around, it's not turning on because there is enough ambient light in the room. Now let me just close the curtains so that the light comes down. Alright, so now if I move around, yep, it turns up. Right? So this is an automation that you can use in cases where you can turn on the light based on motion, and when there is no more movement in the room, it will automatically turn off. Now in case you want to ignore the ambient light in the room and want to always turn on the light when there is movement, you can just ignore the line sensor part and use only the motion sensor.